All right, it is 5:10 p.m. in Dubai now, so we shall start our session. Today, I feel it is 97B. Yeah. And today's topic is the power of silence.
Pranam.
Pranam Rekha. So today is 2nd April 2022. So this topic, what we will discuss today, is a basic one because we revisit earlier in February 2020. I posted a voice message in the group about the same topic. We'll revisit this, and for those who join new, and also go to the deeper level of understanding what the silence is. We have progressed in last 2 years. And that was coincidentally, the voice message was just before the COVID. It is February 2020. So we have matured enough. We have the wisdom, and silence is called the language of the wisdom. Means earlier we talked about the story of Lao Tzu, that one of his famous quote, who know, they don't say, and who doesn't know, those who say they don't know. Yeah, so that was the quote, and there is a story I shared many times, and there he was then asked all this disciples, okay, how many of you know the fragrance of a rose? So everybody raised the hand. But then when he asked questions, I said, okay, fine. Now, how the rose smells, say for 5 minutes. So nobody can talk anything, because everybody knows how a rose smells, but how the fragrance of rose is, but nobody can explain it into the words. So in other words, the words have limitations. It cannot express everything what we experience. And certainly it cannot explain that what is called the communication through words. So the words is not good enough to explain the type of experience we feel, just like as simple as that, how a rose smells or how a mango tastes, word cannot explain that. You know it, and that's it. So in these cases, so more one grows into the wisdom, there is an automatic tendency for us, when the wisdom grows, we go into the silence. So this silence, more the knowledge, more the things we gather, it brings two qualities in us. We become more silent, and we become more humble, because we realize that once you in search of that truth, in search of the knowledge, when you really touch upon that, you realize how much you don't know. I also give what is the wisdom shared by Isaac Newton in the end of his life, of a scientist. He said, in my life, whatever I have done, whatever knowledge I gathered, it is just a few grains of sand in the ocean of knowledge which is available. Means he considered himself not even in the water, in the few grains of the sand in the sea beach, and that kind of knowledge is having. So when we are exposed to that higher truth, the bigger truth, so much things, the knowledge, and how small we know, we automatically, in that, in that you feel that the awfulness, the amazement. We lose our words, so that we appreciate that we have been. There is a deep gratitude comes out, but we lose our words to express it, and that is the state of. That is a state mostly happen, particularly on the spiritual path, when knowledge started getting downloading directly. Once not only this lifetimes of knowledge, any universal knowledge, Brahma Gyan, what is directly downloaded, that first thing that happens is makes you silent. In this, after enlightenment, there is phase called the silence period. They go into years. Why that silence period is needed? It is not imposed. Nobody is asking anybody to be silent or keep your mouth shut. Nobody is telling that, but you automatically you will be into that mode, because your being need to absorb the truth. You realize whatever you have read, or somebody told you, or information you gathered on this planet Earth, those are just superficial knowledge. Those are not necessarily reflection of the truth. Truth was what is directly downloaded from the source, which is a universal consciousness. Then you become into the silence period. So that comes automatically. And why it takes few years? Because we are programmed, our whole body, the physical body is so much programmed with all this information, all this type of our own habits and patterns and childhood conditionings and the culture and the religion and education. So many things we are bound ourselves with. Then when we see the truth, then it gives, breaks away all those shackles of those kind of limitations, and we exposed to the bigger truth. And directly means there is no approval required, no confirmation required from anyone. It is your own truth. You directly experience that, and there is an automatic transition goes into to be silent. And when that truth is absorbed into your being, each cellular level, the truth is absorbed, then you become a representative of that wisdom. Whatever you say, whatever you do, that becomes a reflection of that. And those mode is normally silent. In fact, there are many, many masters who has gone through this process, this enlightenment, and they are in the silence period, maybe for years, decades sometimes. Very few of them has been means to talk again. They don't feel like talking, actually. They just go to, they seclude themselves from all this cultural and things, behavior, and the partying and other thing, gossiping and all those things. But only some of them that by the Guru Mandala, and this they send them to back to that mode, just for the only one purpose, to pass on the information to others, to help others. You may remember first thing when Babaji appeared in this room, which is my puja room come bedroom, on 1st of December 2013. If you have read my spiritual journey, it is written there. He appeared here, and 4 o'clock, I just wake up from my sleep and Brahma Muhurt, and then I feel Babaji is there. And first thing he told, your silence period is over. Okay. Guru Kripa happened. That's why enlightenment happened. Then in Khopoli camp in December 2010, I'm talking about December 2013. So 3 years has gone past in between. Then he came, first thing he told, your silence period is over, and you go and share your stories, your experiences to others. As it is by by order. I'm doing it. And teach others the household, the spirituality, and Kriya Yoga. Okay, that's what Babaji told me. First thing. Yeah? First word, few words are your silence period is over. Means you have now a mission. It's okay. Whatever you realized, whatever the truth you realized, now it is your mission. I'm assigning you to go and talk. Okay. So basically, for them who has been authorized, for they are talking only because they have been ordered to do so, not because of they wanted to means basically what I'm saying is there is no glorification or glamorization is involved. I have done this, I have done. No, it is for a purpose, and it is strictly under the order given that you share your story, your past life story. And in fact, before I have a communication with Babaji, every time he was very specific. Some of the things he used to give me message just to publish. He used to call from DivineNet. Your duty is to publish it from DivineNet to internet. Okay, means Facebook. So that is by order. There are many other messages I am not authorized to share. I didn't. Okay, that's for something, some other purpose, and it is not supposed to be shared. Okay. So anyway, what I'm saying is that when this truth is realized, you go into this kind of silence. That's called silence period. So this is about the spiritual connotation to it. Means the knowingness come and so much the higher truth. First thing what happens is वो जो है ना in हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना अपना बोलती बंद हो जाते हैं basically awe stuck. Like and some of the master call aha moment. Like when you say climbing a mountain, when you reach on the top, suppose you wanted to see the sunrise in the Himalayas or some mountain. First time when the sun rises, then it gives suddenly the light flashes out, and from inside you see the aha moment. Like it's a great joyful moment. That kind of thing. When the truth you get it, you come to that level when it automatically the mouths get shut. Whatever way the experience you try to explain becomes silly. It cannot explain that, these kind of experiences. But anyway, when it comes as a mission, like when the Babaji's blessings and permission, then even still the words are not mine. It is just flowing through me. This is only purpose to share or just to talk is just to help others. That is what the divine will that you are now promoting. You become a part of that. So that's what it is. It is nothing to do with any kind of glamorization or showing that this is the only truth, this is the best. Nothing of that sort. It is just a sharing. So that all who are listening, they said, if something can happen to him, why not me? That is the purpose for me. That is the purpose I was sent back to the same. Like here also, I have got a lot of my, friends and college batchmates. So this saw me before, so they can now feel that if it happened to him, I was never been spiritual. Forget about going to temples and things like that. Never. Okay. So, but if it can happen to why not me? This is what that the divine mission is. That just because we are logical being, we need to get convinced first before we start working on anything. So this is the way the divine is conveying, and the divine works in a mysterious ways. I also don't know what is the purpose, but what I need to do is I need to strictly follow the instructions given. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, otherwise I would still now, I would prefer to be silent. Okay. Years after years silent. Why we need to be silent? Because that time when our internal journey opens up, lot of internal things, your lifetimes of experience, you yourself, you are an industry, you have 700 lifetimes. Forget about what you can learn here in few years. If you can access to all 700 lifetimes, 700 plus, minimum 700, get all those experience, you yourself will be forget about PhD and all those things. You got the experience and knowledge, while you'll be the topmost single person industry. So that can be searched in the silence by introspection. It is there in your higher body, knowledge body. It is there in the fourth body. Like first, second, third, seven body system. The fourth body is knowledge body, Vijnanamaya Kosha. So there it is all stored. And karmic files are in the fifth body, Karan Deha. Okay. So then what you do is you enjoy exploring your own past birth, your own connection, and with your will you can connect to the divine, the universal consciousness, and download the truth instantly, then and there. Any question, all answered, instantly. So these particular aspects of it, so you don't feel like talking to anyone, basically feel like you are wasting your time to talking and things like that, or energy to doing that, and forget about argument and convincing anyone. That is purely strictly no. It doesn't matter if somebody say, "Oh, I don't agree with you. Thank you very much. You need not to agree." So whatever you are teaching, all are bullshit. Or say, fine, thank you very much. Yes, it is all bullshit. Okay, that's fine. There's no need to fight and argue. That's all. The truth itself is so powerful, so beautiful by itself, then you don't need anything else to conform. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. That Satya, that truth is direct, download, fast and experience. So what happens is, before you do that, before you go into that kind of spiritual state, post-enlightenment, before that, we are normally governed under our ego mind. That time it was just opposite. That time you need to talk as much as possible so that you can project yourself that how good you are, how knowledgeable you are, you are better than others. You keep convincing people. And if nobody is there, you feel alone. You cannot withstand that. You cannot be lonely, You feel lonely. You need some company, or talk somebody on phone, or at least switch on the TV and watching the TV or something. You wanted to engage yourself with something because you don't want to be alone. Means you feel lonely, and loneliness is not acceptable to our own ego. Our mind doesn't want to keep it free, keep it open, keep it silent. But when it happens, when the spiritual journey starts, there are many things. As I said, 700 lifetimes of experience. Yeah, if you want to explore and get that and see what happened, like a picture. I'm sure all the drama and things you see in the TV or movie, you pay money to go to the movies, will feel like useless, tasteless. So many drama happened with us over the lifetime. So many things we gathered. So many things we discovered. So many, plenty of things. It will take a lifetime to explore that and get that into the proper perspective. So do that. The starting point of that is an external silence. Unless with silence. So why the purpose is, the silence is we stop getting input to our five senses. Then it is easier for us to go inside. So normally what we do, so we sit in the meditation, like mouth is, of course, it is stopped, and then we don't engage in too much into, close our eyes, try to come to some secluded area, but later on it doesn't matter. You can control. Even in the middle of the crowded place, you may not listen anything if you wish to. It's possible. Okay, fragrance and all, I don't think you have to sit down somewhere which will be full of kind of odor or something like that. You select something and you pull your senses inward. And then you start that journey. So it was so wonderful journey. You lost senses of, you don't miss outside anyway, and you go start with that. So this part is called aloneness. Earlier was the loneliness. You feel lonely, nobody is there with you, nobody to talk to, and I'm lonely. And this is called aloneness. Aloneness means you are with your higher self. Your journey is internal. you enjoy this aloneness. So loneliness in Hindi is called akelapan, and aloneness is in Hindi is called ekant. So you enjoy the ekant, like without any external interference, you go and explore that the beautiful universe inside you. that part starts, and during that process, obviously, externally, you need to be silent. So basically, the silence gives you the starting point of your inner journey so that you can pull the senses inside and then explore the inner journey. Through this journey, you tap into your own internal, directly downloaded knowledge, first-hand experiential knowledge. You can access your past lives, and you can get in touch with your own higher self, who is your inner guru. Inner guru will take you further. That we go anyway during our expanded awareness state. So many people ask me that how do we get this and how do we get that information? Very simple. You just be in the meditative state. At least you be in the anapansati dhyan, and then you ask your higher self to guide you. Just say, we need not to bother ki who is that person and who nazdik hai, dur hai, dikhai nahi de raha. Don't bother. Just my higher self kindly guide me. I wanted to know the truth. Please guide me. It will take you there. Only thing is you have to stop your chattering mind so that they don't tell you continuously that these are all false, this is your mind game and all. That need to be stopped. And simple, you go with your higher self. Higher self exactly knows what you need to know. Okay, it will give you. It sounds simple. Your mind will again block it. It cannot be that simple. In our group also, whoever has strictly followed what I have said, they get it. Okay. They get it up to Rishi Loka and all. They get it. Went there, talked to different people. I mean, rishis and all, different other layers. They traveled and got and come back. Because they trusted this. Okay, there is no magic here. It's simple as that. You ask your higher self to take you. You wanted to have some experience, ask your higher self. Higher self will take you there. They have full access to everywhere, all the dimensions up there. You wanted to talk to any, say, departed soul, you can ask, if they also, the other party also has to be willing, it can be possible. You can communicate with others, with departed loved ones. You can do that. And you can ask for what is there for your future. You can ask your higher self. Your higher self knows. Or you are in a decision making, you don't know which way to go, which one to select, your higher self will guide you. As simple as that. But the thing is that we don't trust our higher self. We trust on external things. Somebody else is telling, or some machine, we're putting our finger, say 2, it gives some reading. We believe that, but not our higher self. That is the tragedy of our lives. We believe in the gadgets. We believe in somebody else is talking about us, and maybe charging heavily, giving you some report. We are blindly following that, but our own self, our higher self, which service is for free, we are not believing in that. Anyway, I'll just leave it there. All right. So now I will give you. Let me share some kind of some quotations. I get it with some of the thing is saying that. One is silence speaks. Means the silence is not like a dumb silence. We are not talking about that kind of silence, which is the absence of sound. We are talking about that silence, which is potential for any creation. What I'm talking here, let me explain. Like a canvas is a potential painting, right? Similarly, a silence is the background of any creation of the sound, any vibration. So when you go into the silence, it touch upon that background, and all the power available to that background is available to you. That is infinite. It can hold any creation. Our universe was created with the sound Om. That was so. Before that, just moment before that, it was all silent. But it is called vibrating silence, like just kinchit talata or kinchit chalata, like just about to vibrate, silent. That is a potential thing. That is a highly energized state. Or in the physics term, you can say the quantum state, that matter didn't form, but it is just before that. That energy is held by the silence, not by the sound. When it converted into sound, it is already vibrating and some effect has been felt and seen. But just before that, it is a potential. That potential, if we can tap only through silence. That's why we do, all this gap awareness and things, just to get in there, get into the background, get into that silence, which brings us that energy. So that is the power of silence. And if we are master in using the silence, our creation become an art, great art form. Like in the morning also, I was telling the difference between a normal singer and a famous singer, or a normal musician, like a child also play, that you give some keyboard and they play some song. Same song is played by somebody of like a very famous musician, the maestro. You will feel the difference. You feel that the connectivity is different level. Why? Same note is played here by the child or anybody, say somebody common people, they play something, and same tune is played by a master, maestro. Say the sitar, Ravi Shankar, and somebody else is playing something, then there is a difference is the maestro knows how much silence to be maintained between two notes and at the end of it. There's only difference. The key is same, the tune is same, the note is same. Only the difference between a normal playing and the maestro playing that instrument or some music, creating the music, is the maestro knows how much pause to be given. In milliseconds, they're the master, they know how much the effect will come, because every vibration is created, it takes some time for us to absorb. And it should be, means maestro knows the silence should be enough to absorb the vibration and not that much so that it can die down. Before it dies down, then catch the next note and get a ride, and again some pause to get that into it. So that creates the symphony. That creates the beauty of that music that we get moved into, that we get attached into. It is just a matter of the science of the silence to be injected very, very expert way, so that normal music became a masterpiece. It's only the managing the silence or the bundle of silence. So that is there. So that's how a normal singer singing the same song, but the famous singer, the difference is the famous singer knows where to stop, how much to stop, and give it the further to make that effect to be to all the listeners, the audience, to get this effect fully. Okay, that is the difference. And also you might have seen there is a difference between listening to any recorded version and the live people pay hundreds of dollars to pay and they sit in the opera to listen live. Why? So listen live because there, if we just record it in any instrument, only 20% of effect it reaches us. But if we listen live without any kind of like a instrumentation, because the bandwidth they cut that all the reverberations, that the higher level of harmonics they cut, but our higher bodies can absorb that, higher bodies can get that. So when we listen somebody live, all our bodies, they can absorb that kind of vibrations. So we get, in other sense, we get the total, we receive the total song, total music, which affects which resonates with all our being. So that is the difference. That's what the live thing is. And of course, there the silence that matter more, because when you put into a new instrument, the silence part get messed up first. Because I'm talking about few milliseconds of silence. And when you convert it into any electronic mode and channel through wire and record it and all, those milliseconds are distorted. You will not get that effect. That is why. So it is all about the science of the silence, which is does. So this is, I just given that the spiritual understanding of that, what that silence means and how to tap that energy. Let's see what are the other quotations I have collected from the net. Silence is the true friend who never betrays. Okay, this is, I think, a little bit of human emotional part of it. So this is, it is in other sense, I read it this way. Silence is the true friend who never betrays. So it is basically, it gives the healing aspects of silence. Healing aspects of the silence. So this healing aspect is that whenever you are, emotionally disturbed or something happened or some painful experience, the silence part will give you to heal yourself. This healing comes from within, because only thing way to silence, allow us, again, the same technique, that 5 senses which is going outside, we need to pull inside. The healing will come from the infinite source, that energy which will flow through us, that can calm us down. Because when you get connected into that, then no matter what happened in the external world and what the reason, whatever happened, etc., the silence heals you. So that is also the thing. It's that has been well understood by the many people. So that is where I think this is coming. The silence is a true friend, like who offers healing, and everybody is friend in the good time, but when you really need it, the one which is beside you is true friend. That reminds me of another Chanakya sloka, what we read, I think, class 8 in Sanskrit. Utsave vyasane chaiva durvikhe rashtra biplave rajoddare swasane cha jastishtati shabandhava. I will just explain that, what this slok means. Utsave means in the celebration, in the parties. Vyasane, like in the fancy, like when you are celebrating the wealth and the dress and the cards and all these kind of things. Utsave vyasane chaiva durvikhe. Durvikhe means in the time of what is called starvation. No, durvikha is not starvation. Durvikha is what?
Famine. Famine.
Yeah. Famine. Yeah. And Utsave Vyasane Chaiva Durvikhe Rashtra Biplave means that when there is agitation, political agitation, Rashtra Biplave Rajoddare means in the court. when you are undergoing something, court case is going on, there, Shashanecha, even at the time of death, who visits the crematorium, Sha Bandhava, that is the sign of a friend. Okay, so I just utter it one more time. Utsave Vyasane Chaiva Durvikhe Rashtraviplave Shashanecha Rashtraviplave Rajaddare Shashanecha Jastishtati Sha Bandhava. Okay, so silence is like that. Silence never leaves us. No matter what happens, silence is always with us. And this silence, that's why it is called a true friend, because this allows us to get healed no matter what happened, in the good time and the bad time as well. Yeah? So that's what it is. Okay. Right. Other things are quotations are the silence is golden. I think I started with that. And another person is saying the speech is river, silence is an ocean. Like it is like when you talk, it has got a limited capacity and it flows through you. It makes sounds and all those kind of things. When it reaches the ocean, then it contains everything, but it need not to make any kind of sound. Even under the depth of the sea, there is no sound. Yeah. So, but that is the true nature of the ocean. Just to the silence, it speaks the depth of it and the shallowness. More the shallow the river is, higher the noise. If you see the mountain rivers, there's a very shallow, but a lot of rocks, it gives a lot of sounds when flowing. So in the river gets bigger and bigger, the sound comes down. When it marches into the ocean, sound almost gone. There are some ocean, what we see from the sea beach is a small fragment of it. If you go to the deep into the sea, there is almost nothing. Yeah, just simply calm, quiet. Sounds are not much, unless until there is a storm or high wind. But otherwise, there is complete calmness. So that's how the silence is all about. Okay, so now, so regarding the silence part of it, with this silence. So first thing, I just go back to whatever I told so far, that to observe the silence allows us to go into our, start our internal journey, and in the internal journey, and that allows us to pulling our five senses inside, so that we don't be busy with giving the five senses. When the five senses stop getting input from outside, automatically it goes inside, and then this journey starts. So, and so in fact, even if some people say we cannot meditate and all those things, if you don't meditate, at least you sit somewhere silently for 10-15 minutes. That will also help. Some people even say that if I, be silent for a few minutes, I fall asleep. Okay, fall asleep few times, but at least third time, fourth time, fifth time, you will be awake, and that will help you. Okay, no excuses. These are excuses of our ego mind. They don't want to meditate. Because meditation means that in the ego, it is a death of the ego. Ego knows it very well. So that's why it gives excuses not to do that. So that's what we need to follow that. Ultimately, that in this, through the path of silence, we get into the stage of, to the state where from external silence, we go into our internal silence, which is called stillness of the mind. Then we go beyond. And once you go there, then it will be better if you can just bring your attention, the silence, you can then focus on your heartbeat. The heartbeat is, it is also called the sound of a one hand clapping. In the Zen method, they call sound of one hand clapping. So in the Zen, they meditated on that. Many people wanted to feel how it's on one hand clapping, how it is possible, and things like that. And many, the Zen seekers, they tried it, failed, and then come and ask the master that I could not. I tried to find out what is meant by in the Zen teaching as a one hand sound of one hand clapping. The master told, just a simple thing. You have to listen to your heartbeat. That is the one hand clapping sound. So unless until you see that. But anyway, that is a story. But message is that this is a great way to go into use your silence. Finally, you should be go into so much silence, then you'll be able to hear your heartbeat. That's what it means. So you can go there, listen to your heartbeat, and that will take you to the expanded awareness state. If you focus truly to your heartbeat, and through that expanded awareness state, you will go into the feeling of this oneness. Oneness of the feeling of oneness is then you feel that you are the one. You are the universe is operating through you. That is called Soham. That I am that. This the feeling that the experience that happens. And when that experience happens, then there is this oneness, means there is no other. So it becomes Vasundhaiva Kutumbakam. Everything is a part of me. So, and that experience then sort out all the issues of this tu mame and all this kind of steps that dissolves automatically. You operate through the pure heart of the compassion and whatever the divine wants to do for the humanity, that you become a part of it because you are now eligible, because you reach there through silence, through that your inner journey, which started with the silence, ended up with oneness. And then you operate through your heart. So whatever actions you take, that is called compassion, like love in action. And that's where you reach your true self, that Prem Sarupa state, that the pure love that you are made of, and you operate from that. With this, I will conclude this learning session. So that if you have any question, just come forward and ask.
I have
Guruji, all
Yes.
our relatives who have departed,
Sreshi, I'll come back to you. Yeah. Yes, Hariom.
all our relatives who have departed, and suppose they have taken birth in a different place. So when we say that we can talk to their soul, it means that we are talking to their higher self.
Yeah. We are talking to our fourth body is always there, no matter whether taken birth or not.
Okay.
So we can communicate with their fourth body. So,
Okay.
and that's not a problem. That's always accessible.
Thank you, Guru.
Okay. All right. Sreshi, go ahead.
Yeah, Guruji, during what I struggle in terms of spirit, in terms of meditation, is that sometimes I feel whatever the vibration or whatever, and then I start analyzing it. Is it really I'm feeling it, or is it a mind construct? And then these days I try to just shut up, focus on you're actually feeling whatever you're feeling. But this constantly analysis comes up, which is of course from ego. How do I overcome this
Okay. No, that is
analytical
a good
nature?
question. So everybody faces this. So you see, what happens is, first few experiences you have to confirm from your spiritual guide or master or guru. Okay. Then that your master will tell you which is truly the experience and which is the mind construct. So after 5-6 times, or maybe maximum 10 times, if you confirm, then you will know what type of things are actually experiences and what are mind construct. By the time you will know some characteristics by nature, so then you can do on your own. Still, if you have a doubt, you can still ask your guru or guide to confirm. And the purpose is ultimately you need to know. The knowingness should come. This is my spiritual experience. You have to be fully independent. Not everything you will ask. But initially, it is normal. And in fact, you should ask your spiritual guide or guru to confirm whether it is a truly or not. Then once it is done, few times, then you will know it. Okay.
Okay. But like during that process,
I'll come back to Venkat.
During that meditation, this analytical nature that keeps questioning instead of experiencing, how do I, as I think it is a personality problem, uh, how do I overcome that?
No, only way to overcome is quieten your mind. It is all ego which is telling all these things. Yeah. Okay. If you just increase the level of alertness, those things will not come. Those are also a thought.
Yes.
If you are more alert, suppose you are seeing suppose a flower. Okay. Normally you see a flower, okay, but not okay. You see it more like full attention. See what is the further detail, and also keep your mind busy into your experience. Then the thoughts will not come. But if you casually see, then it will come. So the key is to increase your alertness so that the thoughts will not be allowed to come. If you say, why we need the alertness, I can see what is there. But you see what is there, but you still need to go into further detail. The idea is that because of that increased alertness, the mind will not be, flittering here and there. Okay, so increase alertness, that is the way.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Okay. Venkatesh, go ahead.
So in the previous question, Guruji, you answered about this fourth dimension or the body is still available. Just to draw a clarity on that, is there a difference between the spirit and the soul, or what? I'm little not clear on what remains and what goes.
No, you are right. This is a part of our what is called workshop. Okay, workshop. I will explain you that 7-body system. It is called a 7-body system. So there is a step-by-step explanation. I think you have not attended any workshop.
No.
Yeah. So
Okay.
next workshop we'll arrange somewhere, and or failing everything, we'll arrange to your place, and one presentation I will explain it to you. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. This is a 7-body system. It is very clearly. I normally give a presentation on that. Okay.
Thank you.
So I will explain it to you. Just keep remind.
I will. Okay. Thank you, Guru.
Okay. God bless you. Okay. Any other question? All right. So fine. So if there is no other question, then we'll go into our Kriya and meditation.